Uh, Charlie D'Amelio is sitting next to me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DAWG Podcast, episode 15. Today, here we're joined with Conrad Jon. How you doing?
I'm doing well by yourself.
I'm doing all right. Yeah, we're glad to have you on here. We know we've kind of got to know you through our close friend John, mutual friend. Glad with him. So pretty much today we just wanted to have you on to talk about your experiences and ask you a couple questions.
Let's do it. I love it.
Yeah, so give us a little synopsis, a little backstory of you.
Yeah, so I'm originally from Indiana. So Hoosier fan. I went to Ball State though, but Ball State sports it's hard to be a Ball State sports fan. But anyway, I'm from Anderson. And I went to Ball State, studied audio production, and then right after I graduated, I had like 3 jobs, and then I had an opportunity to move to LA, and I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it. So I just quit all 3 of my jobs and came out here on like 2 weeks notice, and been out here for 5 years now, or coming on 5 years, almost 5. But yeah, it's dope, man. I'm just been making music and working, doing a bunch of little side gigs, and I've had like a bunch of random jobs out here. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, no, that's super interesting, especially to basically just get up and go to LA. So Truman, do you want to introduce yourself and then we can go around?
Yeah, so I'm Truman Johansen. I go to Ivy Tech right now, planning to go to Purdue next year, studying forestry, but hopefully going to transition into the management school.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty much that's me. I work at a pizza place. Nothing too awesome about me, I guess.
Got a cool ass last name. You're like a fancier last name of my real last name's Johnson, but I wish it was Johansson. That's way cooler.
Yeah, everybody always says Johnson. During soccer when we played, the announcers would butcher it every time.
Oh, I bet they butchered that. Yeah. I had a kid I played baseball with. His real last name was Boner. And it's even funnier because he's a cop now. So now he's Officer Boner.
Oh, that's tough.
That's amazing.
That's true ass story.
Good Lord.
Shout out Eddie. Good ass shortstop though. He's a stud. Bro is nasty.
Alex, you want to go ahead?
Well, my name is Alex Stark. I also go to Purdue University. Majoring in soil science, so agronomy, and yeah, I like soccer, like football, like sports. That's about it.
Big sports guy too.
Oh yeah.
My name is Jacob Hausinger. I also go to Purdue. I'm majoring in forestry management. And like these guys, we all played soccer together. I wrestled, and right now I'm pretty big into like bodybuilding, working out and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm Caedyn Weaver. I run this whole channel, but we all do our equal parts on the podcast. I'm a second degree black belt, and I go to IU. So yes, Taekwondo. So I'm the only one that goes to IU. I'm getting a degree in finance, and I'm getting minors in sustainable business and film productions. And we started this podcast for college students by college students.
I love that. I love that.
I guess the first kind of question is, you kind of already alluded to this. Why'd you go with the name Conrad Jon as your name?
This is funny. This comes back to Johansson. All right, you ready? So my first rap name was CJ for the longest time. And it's funny because like where you know me from is where you call like it's my roommate walking here. I'm not gonna show him because he's getting out the shower, but he's all towed up. But anyway, he calls me Connor because that's my real name. But people from college, they call me CJ because that was what I went by because it was my first rap name. I was like, I want people to call me this. But I spelled it like Seejay. And I got tired of spelling it for people. And then one day in college, I was just tripping balls by myself. And my Twitter name for the longest time was Conrad Johansen. And I thought about it I was like, I don't even like the name CJ. Like, I'm tired of fucking spelling it for people. It's just what I went. It was my first rap name, and people just know me by it. But I don't actually like it. And I was like, I want to change this. And I was gonna do Conrad Johansen, but you heard, bro. Everybody butchers Johansen. So like, no, I got tired of spelling it. I was like, Johansen wouldn't be any better. So I was like, let me just shorten it to Conrad Jon. Pretty simple, and it looks good on paper. And I don't know, it's grown on me a lot. Everybody in LA calls me Conrad.
Yeah, no. So
But yeah, that's yeah.
you talked about having a different alias. So when how long have you been making music under Conrad Jon? And is any of the music you made under your different aliases like integrated into what you're doing now?
Integrated as in like released, I guess, or what?
Yeah, so you said you did CJ. So is any of that
Yeah.
music published under Conrad Jon?
Um, SoundCloud. If you go to my SoundCloud, like I changed my name to Conrad Jon, but a lot of the stuff still says CJ on it.
Okay.
So yeah, SoundCloud is probably the only place. And then I actually have an album called For My Fans. It was like a kind of like a an album I dropped that was like kind of like a greatest hits thing, I guess, from all my CJ stuff. So that's actually on Spotify. That's pretty much all CJ stuff, actually.
That's
But
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah. When we first heard your music, even your first album, which is like years ago now, it's ridiculous to see or to listen to how professional a lot of it is. And so it's nice to know that like there's stuff before that too, you know?
yeah, yeah. There is. I mean, I mean, I went to school for audio engineering, so I've
Mhm.
always been. I remember I was in high school, and then one day I was like, what separates the boys from the men is your engineer. Like you could be the best rapper in the world, but if your shit's not mixed good, people
Mhm.
aren't gonna listen to it. It doesn't matter. So like you're only as good as your engineer, really. And that's why I was like, I'm gonna go to school for this and learn. And I still don't consider myself like I'm not a sit down at a desk for 8 hours person. Just not my personality. I got ADHD. So I don't do a lot of engineering here, but I still know a lot about it. And I do like a lot of other audio, like I do like a lot of AV stuff and like boom operating and stuff like that. But sitting down, like, but learning that side of it also though has helped me in every aspect. Like a lot of times when we're producing, I can just be like, hey, let me sit down for a second. I know Logic, I know Pro Tools. Let me do the beat cuts. Like it's easy for me.
Yeah, that was
So I
definitely the
think,
biggest thing with John Seno is we had like other local rappers and it was like kind of funny to listen to, but it was nothing that was remotely serious. But John outsourced his mixing to I don't know who specifically, but the guy who mixes it does pretty well. And so when John was releasing music, people actually kind of took him seriously because his music sounded more professional than anyone else because he would outsource his mixing. So I 100% agree with you that mixing really makes or breaks it. It doesn't really matter how great of a rapper you are.
yeah, I agree. I agree. But yeah, that's why it's crazy because like LA is such a creative circle. So all my friends are like Tuna. We just went over like he's like one of my best friends out here. I mean, obviously I make a lot of music with him too. But he's like genuinely just a friend, and like um, he's my engineer, and it's just like it's just, okay. Like the difference between LA and like Indiana for me was like my friend group, and Indiana was like my sports friend group. Like people I grew up playing sports with, and like I talk sports with them. All my friends out here are all music people, pretty much,
Mhm.
which sucks because now I have nobody to talk sports with. But especially baseball, people don't watch baseball out here.
Yeah, I was never a big fan of baseball. I never really
I,
get into it.
I get, yeah, I get it. I just play. It's one of those games. It's not fun to watch. Like if you've never really
Uh,
played it, you won't be able to like appreciate a fastball on the outside corner because it's just any pitch, you know. So, but like me, I'm like, oh, that was a great pitch because I fucking pitched before, and it's just like it's the game of little things, you know. So I think it's a boring game to watch, but if you played it, it's a lot easier to appreciate, I guess. But yeah, I get it. Football is much more bruiser kind of vibe. It's much more like anybody can watch it and have fun.
all right. Now you said you went to college for what was your major again?
telecommunications, but my focus was audio production.
So, what was your original plan like going into college? Like, what did you want to do? Was it make music, or was that
Yes.
something you kind of okay?
No, the whole plan from the get go was to make music, to use this to bridge my music, to like meet people that I wanted to help me with, my music, like producers and engineers and people who ran radio stations. Because that was another thing that really helped me, was like, because I made music and because I was already in this program. There's the Letterman program, because Letterman went to Ball State, whatever, but he has his own program there. But because I was in that program, I was able to like talk to people who ran the radio stations and get my stuff played on Ball State radio. And like, it was just a huge connections game for me, I feel like. And it was one of the best decisions I feel like I made, because I know so many people that end up going to school for stuff that like make money or whatever. But like, to me, I just really enjoyed my major. Like, it was just fun. It never felt like class.
No, yeah,
So kind of like,
that's really cool. Go ahead, Jacob. You're good.
okay. So like moving to LA, would you say like your connections have grown? Like, was it fast? Did you grow your connections fast moving out to LA? Like, are there a lot of other small musicians that kind of hang around each other?
I'm pretty outgoing. So the funniest story is how I met Tuna, for sure. But I feel like the first year of LA, like, you meet a lot of people that you'll never talk to again. And you're just kind of this lost, you're just kind of this sponge at that point. You're just taking everything in. You're like, oh, we're gonna do this tonight. Okay. Oh, that was fucking horrible. I don't want to do that again. Like, and then you don't do that again. You don't talk to those people. Like, it's just like such a big place that you can do that, I guess. Like, you can go to a different place to eat for the rest of your life. But the funniest story though is because I moved here October 22nd, 2018. And then I met Tuna January-ish. So yeah, like 3 months in was when I met Tuna. He was like my best friend out here. But I worked at Jimmy John's at Ball State. And I was like, my transfer job was like, okay, I called a Jimmy John's out here. And I was like, hey, can I transfer there? Da, da, da. And they like set it up for me to transfer there. So I at least had something that I could work on right when I got out here, while like obviously throwing out resumes. But I was working at Jimmy John's one day, and this guy came in and was like, and we were talking about music. He's like, hey, there's this rap show down the street. Come to it tonight. And I was like, I don't have shit going on tonight, so fuck it. So I go there, and they're just in between sets. They're playing like these hard ass beats, and like nobody's rapping to them. And I'm like, nobody's gonna rap over these hard ass beats right now. And I'm like, fuck this. I went up on stage, grabbed the mic, and I just started rapping over these beats. And it happened to be Tuna's beats. And Tuna was there, and I met Tuna like the next day, and we made a song, and like the rest is history. But that's literally, jumping on stage was how I met my best friend out here. Like, sometimes you just have to put yourself out there, I feel like, because LA is a lonely place, because everybody's here for themselves. Everybody came here with a dream. Everybody came here with a very better than everyone else mindset. Not like, I'm a very down to earth person, but like, you have to realize that everybody else has that mindset, and you have to kind of be understanding of it, in a sense that's like, okay, like, I get it, like, it's LA, but you got to keep your circle tight.
Is there a story behind the nick? Like, is that his nickname, Tuna?
Yeah, it's just from The Office.
Oh, okay.
Big Tuna. When Jim's calling, or what's his name? Andy's calling. Yeah, Andy always calls Jim Big Tuna. Yeah.
I gotcha.
But the producer tag, I was watching The Office one day, and I heard that, and I cranked my TV up as loud as it could be, like put my phone as close to it, because I didn't have a microphone at the time, and I sent it to him, and that's still the tag he uses to this day. But Tuna, are you kidding me? But yeah, that's where it's from.
That's amazing.
So you talked about you just jumping up on stage like that. Was that kind of your first performance, or did you have stuff back in Indiana that you performed at as well?
Oh man, no, I've probably performed over 150 times, honestly. I was doing shows that was one of the reasons I was like, I wanted to come to LA, was because I was doing shows every weekend in Indiana, and I kind of felt like I like hit the ceiling, where like 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 I was doing shows and stuff, but I was like, there's such a small industry there. You can only do so much, and I just wanted to have a little bit more exposure and spread my wings a little bit. So that was the reason I came out here. I was already like I've been comfortable on stage since there's like one day in college when it happened. I'd had an acting class and I had to play a character I didn't want to play, and then I had a show that night. And then there's a girl in my acting class who I used to have the biggest crush on, and I told her I didn't want to play this character, and she was like, "You're being such a fucking pussy." And like when a girl you have a crush on calls you a pussy, like you man the fuck up. So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna stop being a pussy." So then I did the role, and I like got an A on the project, and I had a show that night, and I was like, I just don't care anymore. Like I just fucking did this role. I was like, I'm like just go crazy on stage, like be your fully yourself, stop caring what people think, kind of mindset. And I've kind of always had that ever since then. It's like if you enjoy it enough, then other people will enjoy it too.
Yeah, I totally agree. One thing I didn't tell you about in high school, I was involved in our theater program significantly. Our last musical, I actually had to dress up as the freaking, what is it called? The lemur, King Julian from Madagascar. I had this huge freaking hat on and everything, and I looked like a dumbass, but I went out there and all the kids had a good time. So I mean, in the end, it was worth it. Yeah, but also going in to performances, venue ships are huge, like Staples Center, all that kind of stuff. It's an artist's dream to sell out an arena.
Yeah.
What's your dream venue ship to just perform at?
That's a good question. Oh man. I would say I live right by the Hollywood Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And just like seeing the old Beatles videos and shit, and it's just a very legendary venue. I think the Hollywood Bowl would be really awesome. But also like, dude, just being from Indiana, it'd be fucking cool to sell out Clips, Ruoff, or whatever the fuck they call it now, Deer Creek. That'd be cool just because it's a piece of home for me. I remember going to all these shows as a kid there to see Wiz Khalifa and being like, I'm gonna be here one day. So if I could actually be like, I'm here, that's probably my real dream arena, honestly.
For sure. I hope you get there one day, obviously.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm working on it, I swear.
All right. So, what were your main inspirations for getting into the music business? Like, who do you want to be like, or what really pushed you there? Whether that be another like big musician or a family member or whatever.
I'll say, all right. So on the rap aspect of that, the first rapper I really dove into was Lil Wayne, for sure. Huge Wayne fan, and like I really like it was like 8th grade where I really just listened to all of his discography. And another one was Kid Cudi. So both of those, and those are both two very different rappers too. And I feel like both of those gave me a broad spectrum of like my own music, because you're a product, what you like. Everybody is inspired. Everybody is a little bit of their favorite rapper, everyone who raps. So like Wayne is like, I was bumping old Wayne yesterday. Actually, I was bumping like Carter 2, and I'd say Wayne was definitely the rapper who really inspired me to rap. He was the one I was listening to, and I was like, I'm good with words. I'm gonna fuck around with this shit. It was in 8th grade, and I just started making fun of people in class, honestly. And then somebody was like, "You're kind of good at that." And then I was like, maybe I started doing webcam videos. You can still go to my Facebook and click on the videos and go deep. And I left all the videos up just to see how whack I was, to inspire myself sometimes. But yeah, that's what really got me. It's picked up from there, like webcam videos. And then somebody was like, "Hey, come to my studio." And I went there, and then there's this older girl that I was like, "Ooh, she's hot." And then she tweeted one day, she was like, "Ooh, there's some people in the A." Like she gave me like props for like my track I dropped, and I was like, "I'm gonna keep doing this." And then it just kind of snowballed. But I'd say my inspiration from the industry, though, or like the person who really helped me, I feel like there's this guy from Anderson who's a lot of people don't know it's from Anderson, but I went salmon fishing with my dad and there's a guy who graduated with him, and he told me about him. And his name's Andrew Barber. He actually went to IU, and this story will come full circle in a second. Actually, especially you'll really like this story, but he owns the Fake Shore Drive. If you ever heard of that, it's a rap blog. Chicago rap blog. Put on a lot of people from Chicago. Like when Chance the Rapper got his Grammy, the second, third person he thanked was Andrew Barber. And now he's like Valley's manager, the artist for good music. He has the want. He's want. She give me what you want.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't dropped music in a while. But besides the point, he's already been there, done that. But I went to the IU Purdue game, right? So one of my good friends out here went to IU as well, and he hit me up to go to an IU bar in LA at the IU Purdue game, and we were there and we sat with some random people from IU and got hammered and watched IU beat Purdue. It was lit, and then I turn around and Andrew Barber's there. And I've never met him in person. I've talked to him since sophomore year of high school. Literally, like message on like Twitter all the time. Like he's a person. And if you look him up, he's very, very like a very well-known person in the rap industry. But he always just kind of gave me props and stuff. And the day I had the opportunity to move to California, I was talking to him, and he really was like, "Do it," And I was like, "I'm doing it because he said so." So that's the one that really pushed me from like he's like my mentor that doesn't even probably know he's my mentor in a way. But I had a hammered ass conversation with him at the bar, and he gave me his phone. Like, he's just a cool dude, man. IU though, from Anderson, Indiana. Been done his thing for real. It just showed me that shit can happen too, because it's like, oh, small city, big dreams. People think that you can't do it, but like, no, if you really put yourself out there, anybody can do. You work hard enough, that shit will pay off.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really cool that you kind of leave up all your old videos and stuff, because I think a lot of like influencers and singers and stuff kind of take those down because they feel embarrassed about like what they were doing when they were in middle school and high school. So I think it's pretty cool that you kind of just leave them up for everybody to see.
Yeah, thanks. I almost leave them up for myself, almost like just so I can go back and be like, damn, I've came a long way. Like, or be like, I was whack.
Yeah, that's why like even my Instagram, like 2 or 3 old like posts, I take them down. I can't stand looking at them every time I get on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've definitely deleted posts on Instagram. Don't get me wrong, but like, I have had to realize that like it's a brand, But even on my Instagram, you can go deep. I still have videos from high school up there, but I don't know. I just want people to. My whole thing is like, people don't give enough of their personality, and like through the like people want to know about your personality just as much as they want to hear your music, So I'm like, any way I can show my personality, like I'm gonna keep that up. Like that's my personality is my brand. So just like the goofy videos, like I'm proudly goofy. So like I'll just fucking do some dumb shit and I'll just leave it up because it's funny to me.
Yeah, no, I do. I feel like listeners obviously have a stronger connection with their artists to do that. Like Tyler the Creator with his old vines.
Dude, I
leaving
used
that
to
stuff up.
always just watch Tyler the Creator videos. I would get on Google or on YouTube and I'd be like, funniest Tyler, and like he has so many. Like one time he was just yelling out like "fuck Trick Daddy" to like random people, and I started yelling "fuck Trick Daddy," but now I'm like, you don't say that about Trick Daddy. He's a legend.
But yeah, no, I think it obviously helped people connect with Tyler a lot more.
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree.
there was that one episode. I can't remember what the show's called, but they blow up the food truck next to Tyler, and Tyler just
and he jumps in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
It's like it's Punk. It was like the reboot of Punk.
Yeah. I feel like people are just look at him and see him more as a person rather than a rapper when they see that kind of stuff. But
like he's down to earth, man. He's goofy.
Yeah.
People like that. I mean, I've met a lot of things about people out here, and the ones that are like think they're too good for people are the ones that people like the internet eats up, and like people, you just can't be bitter. That's the moral of the thing. Is like you got to take everything as and as a joke. You got to realize people aren't gonna like you. You got to realize that in this game that people are gonna have it out for you, but it's got to be one step ahead of them, and then just have fun with the memes and the jokes and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta be able to make fun of yourself. More of the story.
Yeah.
So we saw that you only lived a few hours away from us in Indiana. We actually come from a really small town of like 2,000 people, but I had no idea that your ancestors were Polish. So I saw
Yeah.
that you recorded a little bit with some Polish rappers. How is that different from collabing with like just people that you know in LA?
I don't know. I mean, it's different. I haven't really thought about like. Okay, so when I go into rap, when I write for when I'm getting on a Polish track, I think about American culture in the sense where I have to think about like, okay, I can't be too like complex with it. Like I got to be simple. Like I'm talking about like Batman or like Bruce Wayne. Then I'm one of the tracks I said like Bruce Wayne. Then I'm Batman. And then one of the tracks I like said something about like Joe Biden, something like that. So I just try to keep it really simple with stuff like that. Because I'm like, if I try to get too intricate with it, then I might go over their heads. And like, that's not, then it's almost a waste of a verse to me. So I would say that's the biggest difference. Other than that, I'm still just like, I'm just trying to make the best verse at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a cool thing. There's this producer I actually have like a whole album with. His name's Dozy, and he makes like Rager type beats, and the really fucking good too. But I got linked up with him through Instagram, probably through a hashtag, I don't know. But he messaged me and I checked the stuff out, and his shit was really dope. And I was like, let's do an album. And then he started putting rappers that he knows there in touch with me, and I'm like, let's do this because my grandma's maiden name is Delinsky. Like it goes like my great grandparents literally like came here. I have a book on it, bro. Like that's what I got for Christmas one year. Was like a book of my family's ancestry. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think we're all like German, so we're not really that exotic or anything. So you talk a lot about collabing with people. Has there been any like unintentional or intentional beef that you've had with any other artists before?
Like back in the day in high school, all the time. I feel like my diss tracks were damn near what got me popping for a minute. Like I have a couple disses that are still up to, but I just like was a decent. Like I was, like I said, I would laugh at my old videos, but then if I had to diss somebody, like we would fucking go head to head, and I was suddenly a great rapper. It was just weird. But me and Torn, do you know Torn Messer?
I don't. Do you guys?
No.
He's another rapper from Indiana. He's definitely done his thing though. But when we first met, we beefed, and now we're like really cool homies. But our beef was kind of unintentional, actually. So yeah, it was like some Facebook shit. Like he hit me up for a feature, and I just didn't message him back, and then he dropped a diss on me, and I was like, now I have to diss you. Just some high school shit. But I don't know. To me, it's like it's really never that deep. If I don't like somebody, I just won't do music with them. But dissing somebody is like, I'll definitely say shit myself. But like, there was this girl I was talking shit about when I was back home. I remember she pissed me off that day, and I was like writing a verse. So I guess I have like little sneak disses every once in a while. But I feel like rap is like also a game of fake enemies. Because it's also funny, like I'll just be writing, like, oh, I don't like people like this. So I'll be writing and then I'll put it, but if you put it in a story aspect, it's a little bit more interesting. But then somebody will be like, you're talking about me. And I'm like, I wasn't, but do you think the shoe fits? Like,
So I have a question about your writing process. So you keep on talking about it. So like for you, does it just come kind of naturally, or you get like visual cues, audio cues that kind of just remind you of past experiences, or can you kind of walk us through your writing process a little bit?
Yeah. I feel like it always varies. But I definitely have my main writing process, and then I have my like in the studio need something to put down now. But my main I like to write in the morning a lot, honestly. I really like to write in the morning. And I'll find, I'll either have a beat from Tuna or something that we cooked up or Trav. Just want like I said, all my homies out here make music. So I've been doing a lot of in-house stuff. It's almost more rare for me to go to a YouTube beat anymore unless I'm like out of beats or like it's a certain style beat that none of my homies make, I guess. Or that I didn't want to wait for. But so I'll be in the morning and I'll just like kind of just sip on some coffee, smoke some weed. I have this rule where it's like I don't like to like I like to reward myself with smoking weed, but if I like I got all my shit done today, so I can smoke weed now. But like if I'm writing, I have a no rules clause. It's like I can do whatever. I can drink whatever, I can smoke whatever just to get the song done. But I'm not like that off the clock. But when I'm doing that, if that's what I'm feeling, the song needs whatever, that's what I'm gonna do. But I really like to so I listen to the beat and then I kind of freestyle. I kind of freestyle my flows and then I'll think of a subject and write the words off of that. And I always have, so I'm always writing. So that's the other thing is like I have this note, it's like lines that need written, and it is long as a CVS receipt. And like I will have just little lines in there that I can like run back to and like, oh, I can pull this from here and then like run back to here and then I just can fill in the pieces. And I don't know, it's just different. But when I'm in the studio, I'm like, and I need to write something, I just like I'll be like send me the beat and then I'll just have my headphones on and then I'll go into my own world. I like the pace. The more I'm a better writer though. Like right now I'm sitting still and I write a lot sitting still, but I notice I'm a better writer when I'm like walking somewhere, like more doing something, the more your brain's already active. So like lines will come to my head faster when I'm walking more versus me sitting still. So like when I'm writing in the studio, I'm going outside somewhere and I'm pacing back and forth.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember I've tried
That's
to
something I don't know
dabble.
if a lot of people do that, but yeah, that's me. Also, it's another pet peeve of mine. I hate recording sitting down.
Mm.
Like I need to be up and I need to be able to move fully, or like I need to be able to get into it.
Mhm. I think you see a lot of rappers, like at least in the studio when they're recording too, they're standing up and walking around. Have a
Well, if you're a singer, you can't access your diaphragm when you're sitting down. So
Yeah,
like it literally is a disadvantage.
yeah, yeah. I get it. I was also in choir, and our
Yeah,
choir
and you know.
teacher constantly would say, "Push from your diaphragm," and I could never do it. Always pushing for my chest or neck, but it is
Yeah,
what it is.
I
man.
have I have two questions for you here. So what would you say your favorite part of being a rap artist is?
I would say just being able to like I feel like it's therapeutic. Like me being able to put my feelings and shit and how I feel on and then like release it and then people get to hear it and like I feel like there's a lot of things that like I might not say that I'll say in my music, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like it's just like it gives you somewhat of a platform, and it's like, oh, I can talk about this. And then somebody like will tell me like that inspired them. That's probably my favorite thing is being able to inspire other people. Like that's my favorite compliment. It's like, oh, you inspired me, and not even to make music, just to like, oh, I like this line, so now that just like if I can inspire anybody to do anything, to better themselves, then that's a win. Then because they changed off something you said, they changed their like they thought about it that much.
Right.
That's like being able to inspire.
All right, and now kind of on the opposite end of that, what would you say your least favorite part is?
Oh man, especially with rap, just like everybody's a rapper. So like you can't just be like, I'm a serious rapper. It's like, oh, I'm a rapper. But like then there's that pause that's like, let me hear something, and then it's like, once you play something, it's cool. But like sometimes you don't even always get to play something. And then you're like, you're just rapper. And now like you're cornball in this person's mind because they've never heard, because like everybody's a rapper, But I would say that's probably the worst aspect, is just like not being taken serious.
I see.
No, yeah, I kind of want to talk about that. So, there's a really dumb, raunchy YouTube dating series called The Button, but on it, a lot of the people will be like, "Oh, I know how to sing," and then they'll be like, "Oh, okay, well, sing for me." And so, they're like, I don't have music to go behind. I don't have a song, and so it's like very awkward, and they don't sing. Is that like the same thing for you when you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm a rapper," and people are like, "All right, well, rap for us right now." Like it's very
Nah,
on.
you put me on the spot, I'm gonna rap for you.
Yeah, no, you destroy it, you eat it up.
Yeah. I mean, I can spit a written at any moment though too, and I can freestyle. If put it this way, if you put me on the spot without a beat, I'm probably gonna spit a written. Every day I smile. Let me tell you, like I got shit up here. But if you put me on a beat, I can definitely freestyle. I love freestyle. That's another thing people don't know. I think as a rapper, people need to do that more too. It really does just help you change flows and keep things interesting. It's like if you can freestyle, you kind of don't box yourself in as much.
Yeah, I think you being very outgoing and enthusiastic also helps you with just being able to free flow that. But when you were talking about being able to put stuff down on paper and sing it that you normally wouldn't even talk about, that's actually a real thing that a lot of other artists, not just in the music industry, do. I actually watched a video a couple days ago and I forget who it was, but they were writing a movie, or I think it was a play, and they've done like horrible things before and they would never tell a soul, but then they put some of those aspects in their play because it's so like cathartic for them. So I mean, you're definitely not alone with that. A lot of other artists do it. But in the vein of plays and TV shows, uh they haven't watched it, but you want to talk a little bit about Succession?
Man,
Have you watched the newest episode?
yeah, I did. I did actually. I want to rewatch it because I kind of got lazy on the end. But the episode before that was
Mm-hmm.
fucking bad. I was like, the whole episode is, they built suspense so well. Also, me and Tuna, I keep telling them this. We're gonna sample that intro, and I don't care if I get sued, but we're gonna do it.
Oh, you should. The music is so good in Succession.
It's so, bro, it's such a good intro. Well, I was listening the other day. There's just Wayne. It's going back to Wayne. He has a song Hustler Music on Carter 2, and somebody did a mashup to it to a beat of the Office intro, and it's fire, bro. And as I listened to it, this was like 8th grade, So I was like, I've always wanted to do an intro song, and I was like, once I heard Succession, I was like, Tuna, let's do this.
Oh, it's definitely fire. Truman, didn't you have a question about TV shows or something too?
Yeah, so I was kind of had that exact question that you kind of already answered. I wanted to ask you, since I knew you watch TV, or obviously you're talking about Succession in The Office. If you could choose one song, or multiple, to produce for a soundtrack for a certain TV show or movie, what TV show or movie would you kind of align yourself with?
Ooh, if I like got to pick
Yeah.
I really would. Oh, dude, I think Euphoria would be really tight. Honestly, I know that's a fucking cornball high school answer, but I just think the cinematography, and I think that show is very music based. Like the music, it's almost like a music video with some dialogue. Like it's a lot, especially the first season. It's a lot of music going on, and I think that would be. And a lot of those artists have gotten like picked up too. So like I think that would be the best for my career. But I would say movie Tarantino. I love when I watch Django Unchained, and then there's like a Rick Ross song in there, and I'm like, I love this. Like that would be so hard. Yeah, that definitely Tarantino.
No, it's interesting you said Euphoria because people like Dominic Fike. I've got picked up from that, and Snot got featured in Euphoria season 1, I think, just in a random like background party song.
I didn't know that. That's fire.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
wait.
crazy.
Yeah. Atlanta. See, if Atlanta was still going, I'd probably say Atlanta, but it's over. Atlanta's another great one with music.
Oh, dude, I'm waiting to watch that. I haven't gotten around to it.
Oh, dude, it's so good, and then they just kind of lose track of the story though. Like the ending seasons are like they'll have episodes that don't even have anything to do with the story really, and then like you're like you didn't get to grow with the characters as much as you wanted to when it ends.
Yeah. I mean, are there any other shows that you really like that you watch frequently?
Dude, this will be another hour. Yeah, I love. I watch a lot of TV. I'm not gonna lie, especially like good show. My favorite show ever is Sopranos.
Oh my God, dude. I've started getting into that, so don't say much. I mean, I kind of know how it ends, but after watching stuff like Breaking Bad, I was like, well, I got to get around to like The Wire and Sopranos and stuff like that. Get back to like the classics.
Wire has been hard for me to get into. I've tried. I still need to work on it. I need see. What's the guy's name? Michael Williams. He just died. You know what I'm talking about? He's like the iconic character, like the who like whistles, and then
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But he has that shotgun. He just walks around with a shotgun. Nobody fucks with him.
I just remember like Michael B. Jordan being in like the first season. I'm like, what is it? What is this guy doing in this?
It's so random. Yeah. I would say my other shows. The Last of Us was fire. I mean, it's cliche, but that was a good one. Uh,
I enjoyed it.
Dude, I actually recently watched Game of Thrones for the first time, and
I've never seen it.
it took me like 4 tries to get into, but it was it once I got into it, I was into it. It was fire. And I
So
don't usually get into shows like that, honestly, like the medieval shit. But it was good. They just started using too much CGI. I don't like CGI that much. But the first 2 seasons are like incredible.
yeah, did you end up finishing the show?
Yeah, I did. I've seen the last episode already, so I kind of already knew what happened. But I guess I just had to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I started it like I don't know during lockdown or whatever, and I got halfway through season 5, and I was just like, I really liked it up until the end of season 4, and I know that season like 7 and 8 sucked balls, and I was like, I just can't do it anymore. I was like, let me just end on a high note, man. Like,
Yeah,
whatever.
I get that. Yeah, I get it. They got overboard with it. I'm trying to think. There's so many. Oh, Barry's a good one.
Oh yeah, last season
Actually,
just
that's what
started
I'm doing
too.
after this. Probably they just dropped the first episode of the new
Yeah,
season.
no, it's good. It's good. Don't worry.
Really? Let me get on my shit. Hold up. But here's the thing. I watch a lot of baseball. That's the other thing. I literally like have all the baseball games. Like I pay for that shit, and that is what I do. Like that's my background music in a way. But HBO, I think HBO has the best shows.
You said you're a White Sox fan?
No, I'm just a baseball fan, really.
Okay, just in general.
Yeah, I would say if I really had to pick a team, I'm a Reds fan because I've been to more Reds games than anybody, or like than any game. But I also being in LA, you got to be somewhat of a Dodgers fan. My grandpa was a Dodgers fan, um, so like I like the Dodgers, but I also like I like the Mariners this year. Just like a lot of little shit. Ooh, White Lotus, that shit was fire.
I
Have you
haven't
guys seen
watched
that?
it, but from what I've heard, well, the guy from White Lotus that I don't know because I haven't watched the show, but did like sexual misconduct stuff. Like he's like pretty like sexual. He was like an older dude or whatever. Turns out he actually has like allegations that he's actually done sexual misconduct on another show. And so a lot of people are coming out being like, "Oh, he played the part so well because he literally is that guy." He's like some
Which
like
guy?
he's like
You
some
know?
partly bald dude. He has like kind of a big nose. He's pretty older. Maybe I can.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, because he's fucking around with that younger dude. I know exactly what you're talking about. He's been in a lot of shows since then too, though. Damn, that's crazy. I can see that though. Bro. He killed that role though. I'm not even gonna lie. He plays such a dick and he does it well.
Plays it way
Um,
too well.
yeah, exactly. It makes sense. It's like Kevin Spacey,
Oh yeah.
the Kevin Spacey effect.
Oopsie.
Dude, Dave's another one. The new episodes of Dave have been really good.
Oh, I've heard good things about it. Yeah.
Dude, if you haven't watched it, dude, Dave is one of the funniest shows I've seen in a while. Same with Atlanta's like low key funny, but like Dave is very like on the top funny. But my all time favorite like guilty pleasure show is definitely Trailer Park Boys.
It's
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Trailer Park Boys.
It's very good.
Yeah, Trailer Park Boys. Oh, I love Nathan for You. Have you guys seen that?
I've not.
Oh, that dude is the king of trolling. I promise you. He's just weird, and you're
Oh
just
yeah, I
like,
love that guy,
yeah, the guy's fucking hilarious.
Nathan Fielder.
But yeah, that's TV.
All right. Okay. So now we got to get into some serious questions. All right.
Let's do it.
What are your dogs' names and when did you get them?
I have one dog.
You only have
Rocky.
one. I thought. What about Benji? Who's Benji's then?
Benji is not my dog. Benji, I watch dogs as my side hustle out here.
Oh, nice.
I had Benji for 2 weeks. He's in like a Chinese family, and like they went back to China, and I've watched him before, and he's just like the sweet. He's very shy though. Like he kind of only likes me. And like Tuna, he loves Tuna. It's weird, but I guess Tuna's just a likable guy. But I just had Benji for 2 weeks though. But yeah, I'll go hiking with him, and he'll like run down the hill. And like when people walk by, like he'll run down the hill and like wait because he's so scared of other people.
Yeah, I got a couple dogs. I got some photos of them up over there too.
Yeah, what kind of dogs you got?
They're like I got small dogs, but they're like Yorkie Maltese. I don't know. I like them. He's like
No,
my little
Maltese
buddy.
are great
Yeah.
dogs. My grandma has a Maltese. They're like I like small dogs. I like bigger dogs more, but I will say Maltese are like top tiered small dogs.
Oh yeah, it's just
I
all
like
small
Dachshunds.
dogs are just
Dachshunds
loud.
are cute too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just don't like Chihuahuas that much.
I don't think it really does.
Yeah.
Not a big fan.
Stomp on them. No, but our podcast is a dog podcast, which is just like a random name. But our like mascot is framed after Truman's dog Kiki. So it like kind of
for
goes
real?
circle forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of dog does Truman have?
He's a mix between a terrier and a Dachshund. So looks like a wiener dog with a bunch of hair.
Dude, those are good dogs. I love that.
Yeah, he's good for the most part. He's super petty though. Like he's super attached to us. So anytime we leave the house, we have to put pee pads down because he'll pee on the coffee table because he gets mad at us.
Yeah. Rocky was doing that with Benji. He was getting jealous that Benji was like cuddle because Rocky. It's funny because Rocky's not like when I sleep. He doesn't like usually sleep on my bed, or if he does, he's not like cuddling with me. He'll sleep in my vicinity, but like in his vision, I guess. But Benji was like had to sleep next to me, and Rocky was getting mad, and he was like peeing and pooping at the door, like this is my house. And I was like, I started having to put him in his cage sometimes. But he's never done that. He never does that in the house. It was only when he was getting jealous.
Yeah, he's a little shit sometimes, but
yeah, Rocky's nickname is Shithead. Look at him right here. Hold on. Can I turn the camera around? Yeah, Rocky.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You go boy. Yeah, go boy. Look, he wants belly rubs. He's like, I want belly rubs. Look at the foot. Duck boy. He doesn't bark at all. Quiet. This is weird for a husky.
It's very weird. They're usually really dramatic about everything.
Vocal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super quiet. He's a good boy. But yeah, I rescued him and I didn't expect to get a dog. I was just like, fuck it, I'm getting a dog. And he jumped on my balcony. Here, look on my balcony. He jumped off this the first day. I got a cool view too. But he jumped
That
off.
was a sick view.
Yeah, it's dope. I love it.
He jumped off that?
Jumped off of it and ran to the corner of the field, and I had to carry his ass up. And then he sat in the bathroom for like a day, and he like was just traumatized. I thought he was hurt, but I kept like feeling all over, and he wasn't like really tender in any spot. So I was like, So then I like talked to some like mobile vets, and they were like, "Go get his leash. Like he's probably got to go to the bathroom." And like I just went and got his leash, and he just hopped up and was good as new. Never complained about it.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so why was there, I don't know if you've explained this before in other videos, but why was there such a big gap in between your first album release and then your subsequent second one?
Which one? Me and Tunas?
No, just in general. Let me see if I can find the.
Well, yeah. Let's say which two albums?
Yeah. Let me find the actual name, so you're good.
Oh, you're good. Rocky, you want a treat? Good boy. What am I gonna eat?
Are you ever thinking of doing a feature with John Seno or getting John on your on a song of yours?
Yeah, I've definitely thought about it. I met John through I think I met John through Sheldon. Do you guys know Sheldon?
No, I don't think we did.
I wonder. I'm trying to think how I met John. I know I met him like just. I never met him in person. Or I met him at my show. Actually, yeah, I did meet him at my show. I was lit, and I was like, "Bro, what? You're here?" But I met him through like Snapchat on some other shit. But yeah, I've definitely thought about getting him on the track. I think I can make it happen. I have so much shit in the so whatever the two albums are, like I'll just probably tell you the answer right now because it's just the way I do music is like I have like 4 or 5 albums ready to go. I'm just the album crafter, and I want to be unique with the way I release it in a way. It's like I'm not just gonna like drop. I want to be able to roll it out somewhat, I guess.
Oh,
And just like because I've dropped music before with like on a good day, I'm like, I want to drop a song, and then it doesn't do well, and then you're mad that you wasted this time to drop this song, and then you like now I'm like, if I'm gonna drop something, I want people to know about it, and so that's why I'm like, but I never stopped making music, so I just have this backlog of like, me and Tuna have a whole nother album ready. Me and Trav, I have an EP that I'm getting ready to drop with this guy Spiro, and then I have a EP with Trav that's gonna drop at the end of the year, and both of those are pretty much ready. Like the one with Spiro is done. We listened to it the other day, and it's very left field kind of. Like we went in it with a kind of a different like a different style of production, kind of like JPEG Danny Brown-esque, a little left field, unique, weird, but it's really cool. It's got a lot of bars in it. I feel like it's more, but like it's very like over like old school samples and shit. So it's like I think it's gonna be received well. Put it that way. It's gonna be a lot different than the album I just dropped though, which I really like. I like to change it up.
Yeah, no, that is pretty crazy. That it's kind of like the perfect time for you to come on here since you just released an album a couple.
But yeah, everything. What I was getting to is like, I definitely will get a song with them, but I don't know when it will drop. In the sense that everything I fucking drop is damn near a year and a half, 2 years old. Besides the shit I dropped on the shit I was dropping weekly when I was dropping for the Atomic Sundays. That shit I was just doing every week. That was like my quickest turnaround rate. But I just make so much music that I'm like, I need to get this out first, and then like I like to plan my own progression to an extent where it's like the world's not ready for this yet. I'm gonna give them this, and then we'll get there. You know.
Hmm. So, do you do? This is kind of off topic. Do you do anything on the side besides like your music career? Is there a different like a part-time job or a freelance job or something that you do?
Yeah, I actually just got hired. I've been doing a bunch of AV, so like I set up like speakers, like projectors, lighting, all that shit at like hotels, like 5-star hotels for like big corporate events, celebrity events, and shit like that. So I'll do that, and then I actually just got hired today at this place called. This is interesting. So it's called Mad Science, and I'm gonna go around and like it's like a program to like do cool science shit with kids. I'm gonna be like an instructor, and they pay pretty well too. But my dad's a coach. I've always liked working with kids and stuff, so looking forward to that.
I used to think those like little science kits you get in the mail were like the coolest thing ever when I was in elementary school. I
Yeah,
used
it's
to
all
get
like
those
I
all
would
the
be like
time.
little Bill Nye, bro.
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
Bill Nye
Exactly.
this bitch. But I got that, and then like serving, always nice little serving job. I worked at an art store out here selling artwork at the Beverly Center. Um, and I've done a lot of PA gigs. I'll say most random gig. I got hired as a production assistant for this Ferrari commercial or like an ad because they don't do commercials. But Adam Levine was in it, and apparently they still needed like somebody to do his blocking, which is basically like his stunt double, his stand-in. And
Mm-hmm.
apparently I'm the same size as Adam Levine.
You're
So
the
they were like,
same.
"Hey, you want to be Adam Levine for the day? We'll pay you $50 more." And so like I would like do Adam Levine's block, like I would walk here and whatever, and then they'd be like, Adam one, step in, and then Adam Levine would switch me places and then like follow my footsteps.
That's crazy. That's actually
That's
insane.
amazing.
It
That
was
is
random.
amazing.
He's a super nice guy. Everybody on set was scared that he wasn't going to be a nice guy, and he was the nicest guy in the world. Like very like stayed way longer than he was even paid to. He's just super cool guy.
Um, so in that same vein, how are your music videos filmed and how have they evolved throughout the couple of years that you've been doing them?
Oh, that's a good one. So I have this whole philosophy of like I like to work with different people. Sometimes I like to plan shit out super heavily, and then sometimes I like to be like, let's shoot a music video day. Let's do a run and gun video. Because sometimes those run and gun videos are just like the random ideas that always hit, and then like you can bring the energy. Like let's see. A lot of I mean, Think Twice was somewhat of a run and gun video. Um, but then I'll have like New James Bond, which had a lot of planning into it, and
Mm-hmm.
Flash probably was the most planning. Um, but it just depends on who I'm working with, and like how I guess how quick their turnaround rate is, and just like sometimes we might shoot on a DSLR, sometimes we might shoot on a red cam or a black magic, which is a huge difference in money. So it just depends on the person that I'm working with, but I'm down to shoot with anybody because I mean I've done a fair share of video editing too. So like I've like what video Burberry bag. I did a lot of that video editing. I picked out all the clips and did all the cuts, and then I just had Stretch to do a lot of the transitions. But it just depends. But I really like to make the most out of them now. It's like I've still got a couple in the backlog. I got one for '07 Big Poppy ready to go, and then I shot one for '08 LeBron like a week ago. But I'm excited to see because there's these new guys I was working with, and I didn't know how official they were, and they were cold, bro. And they had some really good ideas. And then we just had so like the first day was just me, and we just went outside and did a bunch of shit by myself. And then he was like, "So let's have a party at your house, kind of thing, and we'll come there and film it." So I invited all my friends over, and we just all got fucking super lit and played like Cards Against Humanity, and just was like wild. And they like fit like literally, it was really professional though. And I think '08 LeBron's gonna be a hitter.
So you're in LA, but like have you watched movies like La La Land before or where they're like very modern kind of musicals? Because mixing, you have a music background. Truman's kind of touched on this, but like if you ever had the opportunity, would you want to kind of transition away from being a rapper for a time and do more stuff that's in like movie based as opposed to
Yeah,
your own
I would
really?
do. I mean, I would never stop being a rapper. Like I just think that's just something a part of me. But I would definitely like. I mean, I'm already playing with other shit like that. Like I've got some dance stuff that's pretty tight too. Like some shit because it's fun to perform, man. You make people move, and you know, like what's that? Gets people going. It's provocative.
Provocative. Yeah.
but uh, but yeah. So I definitely dabble in a lot of other shit too. But yeah, I don't know. I'd never just try to box myself in. I definitely would do shit for movies. That's like one of my ultimate like goals right now actually is to get some licensing publishing on like a video game or a TV show and stuff, because I know some people that pitch and stuff like that, and I think that would be, and that's like a long time money maker in the sense. And I mean, sometimes you hear a song in a movie, bro, and it makes the whole scene. Like if I could do that, that would be almost as cool as having a hit song. Because I'm really into movies too. Like I said, I went to film school, so it's like it's one and the same. It'd be cooler to me.
Do you think when you blow up, will you kind of miss having this like smaller circle of like followers, listeners, connections, as opposed to having thousands and thousands of people listen to your music monthly?
Man, if there's one thing I've learned though, it's just always stay true. So like, I mean, I've seen the people, like I've been around it, and I've seen people not be happy people, but be very successful, but it's usually because they don't have real friends and shit. And I've always been very true to like people that have been true to me, and I'm never going to stop being that person. So like, to me, I'd rather just the music hit and shit like that, and then like me be able to help all my homies out. And so like, I don't know, like, I know like things obviously nobody knows until they get there, but I've always told myself that I'm really gonna stay. Like that's something I really take pride in. I guess just staying true to the people that help me out, and just being in touch with your fan base is like half of the battle, though. So like that really has helped me as a better artist, is reaching out and being like, hey, did you like this, and how are you doing? Just stuff like that. And I don't ever want to have to stop doing that, especially the people that were there from the jump. Like maybe if you're like a later listener, then yeah, like you're just a fan, I guess. But if you were there from the jump, then I'll remember that.
Yeah, it's kind of like really early Twitch days where you have like 5 viewers and you really know each of them and you say hi, but then you get to like XQC level where you have thousands and thousands of viewers, and it's not like you can even try to communicate with them because there's just so too many. So I didn't know if that like connectivity would be something that you'd miss years later.
Yeah, I hope not, because I really do want to stay in touch. Put it that way. Like that's my goal. I don't ever want to, like, I don't know. The people who were there for you from the jump are the reason that you're here. So it's like, you don't ever want to bite the hand that feeds you. It's just, I feel like I've always, like, a lot of my like my best friend Buddha, I've known since he was 5 years old. Like, a lot of my friends have been friends my whole life. Not very like if you're my friend, I'm picking on who I choose to be my friends and like hang out with. But if you're my friend, then like we're friends. I'm not gonna do anything to fuck that up. Like I know what a good friend is.
Yeah.
I do have a question about the titles of your songs. Do you usually create that title like after you've written the song, or is it before and then you base the song off that title?
It's a good question. It's always after for me. Always.
Oh, yeah.
Very, yeah. And the reason is, going back to Andrew Barber, the guy who I said inspired me, who's from Anderson. So he signed to Def Jam, right? And so I was talking to him one day, and like I just happened to be talking to him. He's like, hey, I'm about to go live on Def Jam's Instagram. He's like, and we're about to listen to music. He's like, submit something. So I submitted. He goes, I'll play it first. And I was like, dude, you're the fucking G, bro. And so I was like, all right, I sent a song, and I had this song called "Oh My God, I Love a Trippy Bitch." You guys might have seen that video. That's one of my other favorite music videos. I'll tell the backstory about that after this. But so I sent that song in, and they played it on there. And the guy at the end, he was like, because there was like two. He was FaceTiming with somebody else, like one of the other big execs off Def Jam. So it's him and another guy listening, and the other guy didn't know that he knew me, And he played that shit, and the other guy was like, "That song name is the best song name I've seen in a long time," and I was like, "Whoa!" Oh, and he was like, "Because I get 1 million songs a day." He's like, "You can have the best song in the world, but if it's called Bad Bitch or some shit, like I'm not gonna click on that." Because it's just not an enticing title. But like, "Oh My God, I Love a Trippy Bitch," that sticks out. You're like, where is this going? It's either going to be great or awful, but you just separate yourself more. And I want to be like, here's the other thing is like, I always think about people looking me up on YouTube. If you search, oh my God, I love a trippy bitch, that's going to come up first.
Mhm.
If you search, so it just makes me more accessible. So I usually go with very unique, weird song titles. And like, that's going to be something I keep doing. And I guess until I can't, but I also like the aspect of that. Like this I forget song names all the time. Like, okay, my favorite rapper right now, one of them is Yeet, which is super fucking cliche, I guess, or not cliche, but like young Playboy Cardi-esque. But I love his music. His sound is amazing, but his song names are so not memorable. And I always forget what song I like in that sense, where it's like, okay. And like, I've taken that to account where I'm like, okay, if I'm the opposite, then that's an advantage to me. Obviously, he's way big, like he's big enough that his song names don't matter as much though. And he has a uniqueness to it, like in the sense like that's his style. So I'm like hating on it. I'm just saying that I'm doing the opposite.
Yeah, I guess I've never really thought about the title of the song, how that can
I always make a
boost
song and then he's like, what should we call it? And then I'm like, let me figure this out real fast.
yeah.
And that's how it happens right there at the end when he's bouncing the files every time. That's a good question. That's a good one.
Thank you.
Oh, where's my damn remote? Trying to watch baseball.
Speaking of sports, going back to your being an Eagle fan, what do you think of Jalen Hurts' new contract? You a fan?
I'm a fan. Big fan. He's a leader. If he can stay healthy. My whole thing, so like Carson, I mean, I've been an Eagles fan my whole life, so I've fucking been through all the eras. Carson Wentz, though, like when we signed him, I was like, okay, this guy, like he had all the talent in the world, but he wasn't a leader of like a real, like I don't think he ever led like a team as big. You know what I mean? Like Jalen Hurts was on Alabama and Oklahoma. He led superstar teams and was like a good leader. People wanted to play for him. Carson Wentz has had horrible locker room credibility. People did not like him in the locker room, and it obviously showed he couldn't play under pressure. So I think Jalen Hurts has showed that he has that. He's got that Kobe Bryant in him. That's what shows to me is that he works hard. He wants to be the best player. Never says anything bad about his teammates. Just like huge Jalen Hurts fan. I'm not mad at it because the reason is, did you see? So Howie Roseman is our GM and he is a cap wizard. So that is the biggest contract in NFL history. Do you know how much that contract is hitting next season? $6 million. And then it goes to $12 million. And we're only getting a $6 million cap hit this year. So we can do whatever the fuck we want. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I didn't know how it was broken down, honestly.
When I say I'm an Eagles fan, I follow all the nitty gritty profiles on Instagram, and I see. I'm like, I know the practice squad. It's annoying. No, like here's a tour of my fucking house, bro. I'm for real. Let me annoy you real fast, you Steelers fans. Bam, birds. Let's come over here to the Eagles corner. We got my bro drinking water. That's like Christmas decoration. Bam, bam. Eagles. I got the Indiana license plate I drove in here, and that's one of my favorites. Eagles. I got some Dodger stuff too, but like all Eagles. Yeah, it's annoying. That's like I got an Eagles bowl, like a weed bowl. Like any kind of prop, I'm like, let me get that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm okay with that contract. I'm ready. I mean, we got a 10th pick in the draft. I'm like, I think we're gonna go D-line, but we need a safety, and I would really love if we made a trade to get Buda Baker. And
I was hoping the Steelers would pick him up because we got a new GM this year, and he's actually been making some moves in free agency, and
you
it's
guys
so
have
nice
a nice
to see.
upside. It all depends on Pickett, but you guys just got Allen Robinson today, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We got him a 7th-round pick for a 7th-round pick.
They just wanted to get rid of that contract.
Well, we're only paying 5 million of it.
Well, they didn't. Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah,
They didn't want
they
to use him though. They didn't even use him like properly.
no. So
And
they
he's
took like they
he's a
took the cap
stud,
hit
bro.
for 10 million. Yeah, yeah. I'm excited for it. It's nice to
I
see.
love watching him in Jacksonville. Well, who was it?
He was a dog.
It was Allen Robinson and Lazard or what was the dude's name? Dude, Hearns, Allen Hearns. Is that his name? He got a big deal with the Steelers because the Cowboys. Cowboys do that too. They'll sign
Yeah,
like a
it was the
big name
Cowboys.
receiver and then play him like fucking twice.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
Gary Jones, but that's just the Cowboys fan logic. It just doesn't make sense. You got to learn that through life.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole organization's something else.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I love watching them lose, which is like I love like
It's my
Tuna's
favorite thing in the world.
Tuna's brother's diehard Cowboys fan, and Tuna doesn't watch sports at all. But Tuna's brother is like one of my good sports fans, and like we'll link up for the Eagles Cowboys game, and we'll just talking shit to him is one of my favorite parts of the year.
Yeah.
And he'll get
Yeah.
me too though, because Cowboys will usually split with us. So like
Yeah.
that game, if you listen, actually this is a funny story. If you listen to my song, it's on Slightly Sauce, the first album, me and Tuna. Let me find the song name. But I literally that was during the Cowboys game versus the Eagles, and the beginning of the track was when the game started, and I'm just talking all this shit, and then by the time we're finishing the track, we're getting beat like fucking like 40-12 or some dumb shit, and like I did this outro on the end where I'm like, we fucking suck, bro. Like it's like all just like the beginning of the track, I'm talking shit, and then at the end of the track, I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. We suck, da da da, this and that. And let me find the track name. It is. I know how the beat goes. I think it's Goddamn I'm Fly.
I honestly think it's amazing how you can find like just a like tiniest inspiration from the most random thing and then create a song out of it. Like it's honestly pretty crazy how you can do that.
Like I said, I want to give people the most of my personality. So like the more I guess you get of that, the more you appreciate me as the artist. So I'm like, okay, for people who don't like might get that, like the Eagles fan, or like if you're an Eagles fan, even if you're not, like it's still something that's the excerpt of me. So I don't know. That's where that comes from. That because as like a younger artist, I wouldn't have kept that in, but now I'm like, you're either gonna like me or you're not gonna like me. I might as well just be me.
Right.
All right. Do you guys have any more questions for him?
I do not.
Jacob, you wanted to ask his favorite food when his tummy hurts or something?
What?
That's a good one. Ask me some weird questions. I need a weird question from every one of you.
All right.
We should do this. Are you guys in a frat?
I'm in a fraternity.
What fraternity you in?
Kappa Delta Rho.
Okay. I was Sigma
Yeah.
Chi at Ball State, and one of the things we had to do was you have to get a signatures, like 5 signatures a week on a paddle. And
Yeah.
to get a signature, you got to do an interview. And 20 questions, but the last 5 questions are like marry, fuck, kill. You know what I mean? So give me some of those. I want a question of that from every one of you.
All right, hold on. I have a list of the questions I asked for my interviews. Let me go get it real quick. I'll try and find you something.
All right. The rest of y'all, somebody go first.
Jacob's
All right.
got this.
Do you wipe front to back or back to front?
That's pretty simple.
Simple.
It's front to back.
Yeah, front to back.
You never wipe back to front,
Yeah.
especially if
Like
you're
through the legs, like that's what girl like no. Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
no way.
That's what some people in our dorm do. Like our neighbors on both sides do that.
That's weird, bro. They're probably serial killers. You should lock your doors.
They like trash this place.
Yeah, there's something else.
That's
All right.
great.
I found one.
All right, let's go.
All right. If you could have one liquid come out of your nipple like on command, what are you choosing?
Gin. Gin.
That's amazing.
What the
Oh,
hell?
All right, what
yeah.
what liquid would
I'm
you
just like, long day, better.
I would do Everclear. Just straight Everclear.
Yeah, I guess that's probably a more because then you don't have to suck on your titty for that long.
Yeah, exactly.
You can just get to the point. You know what? I retract my answer. I'm going Everclear.
Yeah, there you
Moonshine,
go.
baby.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. Who's next? I
All
want.
right,
I want.
this isn't really crazy, but it's a would you rather? Would you rather have like unlimited free any types of alcohol or unlimited free any variations of weed?
Definitely weed.
Yeah.
I'm much more stoner than a drinker. Yeah.
Were you big as a stoner in Indiana? Back before
Yeah, I've been a stoner since high school. Honestly, I'm not. I've always been a social drinker. Like right now, I'm drinking a gin and tonic, but like I'm like it's not like a thing I like. Like if I drink it, I never usually drink to get drunk. I'll just like be like, oh, I'm gonna have a drink, you know. But weed, I definitely smoke. I've always been a stoner. I have ADHD. I feel like it really helps me.
not to get too illegal, have you done anything else besides weed? Because like in Winnipeg, the meth business here is ridiculous.
You would be
It's booming.
our
I'm a
county.
big shroom guy.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I do shrooms all the time. I love shrooms. So
you get on
shrooms,
those-
weed. I don't do coke really, just because I mean ADHD. I'm like, why do I need this? It doesn't do anything for me. Um, have you guys ever heard of kratom? It's like it's over the counter out here, but it's illegal in Indiana. But I'll do
No.
some. It's very. Have you ever guys heard? There's a show on Hulu called Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia, where this dude just goes on adventures and does exotic drugs with like Indian tribes and shit, where like this stuff grows natural. It's really fucking cool, honestly. But he does a whole episode on kratom, and it's an over the counter thing out here. It's like a herb somewhere, but it's really interesting in the sense like it's very subtle. Like if I do like a little pill of it, it's just like a cup of coffee, like a little pick me up, you know. But if you take and because it's natural, you can't OD on it. So a lot of people when they're like, they'll do, and I've only done this one time because I was like, let me see how it goes. But people will do like 20 pills, and it'll be like a natural Percocet, and people will be like literally like it's how a lot of people like use it to get off of Percocets actually, but it's an over the counter thing out here. And I would say I will always have a bottle of it, and I take a pill every morning. It's not really a big thing, but it is something. And yeah, that's really it. I don't really like I have friends who do coke. It's not really my thing. Shrooms, acid, even I'm a little skeptical with. I'd rather do shrooms. Like I have a bag of shrooms. You want to see my bag of shrooms?
Sure. There, go
Wow.
ahead.
I got a fat sack. These boys are nice too.
Holy shit.
Go.
I've been microdosing a lot actually. So I like put one in a blender with like my protein shake after like I work out, or even before I work out sometimes. But I've been like intermittent fasting a little bit. I don't know if you guys ever fucked around with that, but I feel like it helps me throughout my day, just like in my energy levels. But just weird shit, honestly. Don't get me wrong. I'll get hungry. I'm hungry now. I'm like, I might make a burger.
I do have one question.
All right.
All right. What's your like go-to munchie like snack? Like if you want food when you're high, what are you going to?
That's interesting. So I don't really eat a whole lot of snacks. I cook a lot.
Okay.
So I would say like if I have like three, oh, okay, I lied. My go-to munchie snack is definitely popcorn.
Really?
Yeah, like because I don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to always cook. Like I'll be high and I'll be like, I don't want to do that, and then I'll be like, I need to make something quick, popcorn. But like I'm very intricate. Like I have a popcorn maker, and then I have like fucking movie theater, bro. Look at this thing of butter I got on Amazon. Best $20 I spent in my life. Fucking squirt that boy. You're going. You're at the movies.
Yeah, at that point.
And you can smoke weed inside the theater.
Okay.
All right. I need some more weird questions. Hit me up, Truman.
All right. So you know how Spider-Man was bitten by a radioactive spider, turned into Spider-Man, obviously. If
Yep.
one animal were to bite you and you were to become a superhero of that animal, what animal would you choose?
What animal or what superpower?
I mean, kind of both. Like, if a dolphin freaking bites you, you can use I guess
Whatever
dolphin.
dolphins do.
I mean, one the easiest would probably be a mosquito. Like, just I'm not trying to look forward to the bite. I just want to get it over. I just want superpowers. Like, I don't want to like have to get bit by a bear to fucking be able to fly. I'll take the mosquito.
Well, no, I don't think that's like what it's like if you got bit by a bear, you would have bear specific powers. If you got bit by a mosquito, you'd have mosquito specific powers.
Oh, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I thought I could pick it. Okay.
No, that's
Ooh.
smart. Mosquito's smart.
Okay. That's actually a good one. Yeah, that's way better than like what superpower would you want? I like that. Eagles.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I'm flying,
God.
baby, and I'm the
This
fucking
guy.
king of the air and the king of the fucking turf.
Oh.
Oh, I was like, dude, because I just want to fly. Like, that'd be the coolest thing for sure. Like, you can't
That would be
teleport as a
awesome.
fucking animal, so I'll take the fly. Like,
That's-
what? I'm gonna
that's
be a
honestly
bear
fair.
and like rob people. Like, give me like sneak in people's houses, eat their peanut butter. Like, be a bear. Like, that wouldn't be. And then I was thinking about like wolf, and then I was like, werewolves. Like, that's not that cool. Like, that kind of sucks.
No. Yeah.
Eagle, bro.
No,
Like, you guys
not a
should
bad
be
answer.
eagles, even. Like, that's the best thing. Like, can anybody think of a better answer than that? Like, truthfully, like a dog.
Oh no, dude.
I mean, the ocean.
Yeah,
could be
that's
like a
what I
great
was
white
saying.
shark.
Yeah. I think that'd be the next best thing.
A shark or a what? I don't know.
Dude,
I feel
giant
like,
octopus.
There would be a
Giant
whale.
octopus.
An octopus would be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
change
ink and
colors
them
and
would be
shit.
weird though.
Starfish.
Dude, we could cut off all your limbs. You'd be fine. Go ham.
Oh my
That would
god.
be crazy. Yeah, no, you'd have to go with something in the ocean or something that could fly. On the ground would be freaking boring.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. I mean, ooh, like a cheetah. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Fast.
That
Just
would be
fast as
cool.
fuck.
Yeah, just fast as fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe a lion, whatever. But yeah, no, flying would probably be top tier. Dude, I'd be
Yeah.
seeing people out here when I'm hiking, people with little dogs, and I'll see like falcons circle. Like, I seen these people hiking the other day, and they're like, I'm walking Rocky, like they're not fucking with Rocky, but like they're these little Pomeranians. I was like, hey guys, if you look up, there's a bird circling your animal right now.
About to
And
get
they were like,
snatched.
holy fuck. They like picked them up. That shit was so funny. All right. I gotta get off here though. I got a fucking interview in 4 minutes.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, I
Love to
appreciate
have
you
you
guys.
on.
That was fun, for real. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
right,
appreciate
you guys have a
it.
Thanks
good
for
one,
coming
guys.
Thanks
on.
for
dude.
coming on.
Yeah, you
Let's
too.
do it again. Let's do it again sometime.
Yes, sir. I'm
Definitely.
All
down.
right. See you guys.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 15 of the Dawg Podcast.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Conrad Jon, for coming on. It was great. He's a really funny guy that makes great music. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below your favorite Conrad Jon song or Charlie D'Amelio is sitting next to me.
Hey, thanks for getting to the end of the video. If you liked it, consider subscribing. If you want to see the curated playlist for this video, click the top picture. And other videos that you might like will be posted in the bottom picture. This has been Just Another College Kid, and I'll see you in the next one.